Hello and welcome everyone to the Friday, April 17th, 2026 edition of the Contributor Comms Team meeting. As a reminder, this meeting operates under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. Here at the beginning of the call, we like to offer an opportunity for anyone on the call to introduce themselves. This is totally optional. I like to use it as an excuse to explain what the meeting is, so I'll go first. Hello, everyone. I'm Caslin Fields, and I am one of the co-leads of this sub-project, which is the Contributor Communications sub-project. The purpose of our group is to make sure that folks within the contributor community in Kubernetes know about things going on that they ought to know about, and also to make sure that folks outside of the community know about the awesome work that contributors are doing. We do this through a variety of means, including running social media accounts for the project, putting together communications plans for various things that are going on, and all sorts of other stuff, like blogs that we will talk about today. And my pronouns are she, her. Anyone else want to introduce themselves? Totally optional. We've got a bunch of regulars on today, so we can move right along. Folks want to. I did put the link to the meeting notes in the chat, so please hop in there and add yourself as an attendee if you feel so inclined. Last housekeeping item is note taker. Do we have anyone who would be willing to volunteer to be our note taker today? The role of the note taker is to follow along with the discussion and take notes in the doc as best you can. Anyone want to do that today? Notes by committee. All right. So if you hear something that you think needs to be in the notes, please make sure that it's in there. That's what notes by committee means. And with that, I think that we are good to go. I'm sharing my screen here with the notes. We've moved blog updates to the beginning, and I'm really liking it. I think we should always do that. So let's start out with any updates on blogs that folks are working on. I see that Natalie has some updates for us. Do you want to talk about it, Natalie?
Yeah. So I had kind of like created this when I was at KubeCon, so like last month or whatever, this particular item. And I reached out to the folks in the device management group. They said they'd be really happy to talk about device management as a spotlight. So yeah, they're answering the questions. I asked them if they could get it done by the end of this month. That would be great. And then I figure I can just kind of finish it up, clean it up, and then we can proceed with the posting.
Sounds great. Sounds like it's moving along smoothly at the moment, which is always
Yeah,
good
I'm
to
pretty
hear.
excited. They already started filling it in, but I was kind of like, then all three of them, like, can we all put something in? And I'm like, yes, of course.
Yeah, go for it. I recommend having people list like who said what.
Yeah. They tied their names to it. I already asked them to do that. So they're tying their names to their
Perfect.
responses. And yeah, like it's like I said, it's going along pretty well. I asked them, please get it done by the end of the month, and then we'll go through the reviews and everything like that.
Excellent. All right. And there's another blog update that somebody put in here, SIG Storage Spotlight. Who has updates on that?
Um,
You just noticed it on the board?
yeah,
Gotcha.
the author pinged in Slack asking like how to get that published.
Yeah, I have updates on that then.
Ooh,
Okay,
nice.
Oh, hey, Federico.
thank you.
No, I thought that you added something because you had something specific.
Oh no.
No,
It's
no, no.
just if he was asking me like
Yeah,
how to
absolutely.
get that
Makes absolute sense.
published,
Yeah.
like
No,
if
so
Mhm.
I don't know why they did the CC, but so the document shared a document. I think I updated that, but I'm not seeing my comment there.
Oh yeah, the comments are in the Google Docs he was working on. So
Okay,
this
so
he just
I'm
made the
already
PR.
late because this is strange because yesterday I got a message from the author
Mhm.
Darshan
Mhm.
asking me if I could help with the review and the document and moving forward. And I replied, yes, sure. We now just need to convert this to Markdown and just change a couple of things. But can you confirm that we have that all the suggestions in the Google Doc are in the text? Because otherwise, converting to Markdown. And I was waiting for his reply, but apparently there's already a
PR.
opened PR with Markdown. So I'm out of my comfort zone.
Gotcha.
Let's have a
So
look.
yeah, we can take a look at the doc and the markdown and see if there are changes that aren't listed, and if they're not updated in the markdown, we could put a comment on here and say, hey, there were comments in the doc. Make sure that you add those. Don't have to do them again directly in the markdown. You should have both, and we should be able to say just
maybe they
take from
are
here.
maybe they are there. I was just not sure because there were a couple of them, and it's easier for the author to know if they were acted on or ignored.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for that. Otherwise, the ready to publish. I mean, sure. I haven't read it, so not that version. The one in the Google Doc, I had several suggestions. I can still make them in the PR.
The PR will be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
That's progress.
Yes, it is.
In fits and starts as we go. So thank you, Federico, for offering comments on that, and we'll work out what's going on with the workflow there and make sure that it gets updated properly.
Yeah. Whatever works. I think it's better to have movement than nothing. So that's always good news.
Exactly. Any other blog updates, Federico?
Yes, I've updated the board with them. So
Awesome. We'll pop there.
But very briefly, the questions for the work group AI / SIG architecture subproject AI were sent. That's one. The other one was the spotlight, which actually we already discussed. The SIGAuth we've pinged again, and we're still waiting for answers. Security committee. I've sent another message to a public forum this time, which was suggested to me. So that's another communication attempt so that we get the SRC answer on this possible spotlight. And I think this is pretty much it.
And an example of the lack of movement that often happens with these.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Federico, for pushing that through and for updating the issue as well. It's nice to have that update in the board. Cool. There's a few more here in the board, but I assume that there's no particular movement on those at the moment. We can go over them another time. All right, so that's the blog updates. Let's talk about messages of the week. What's going on in the community that we need to be talking about? New contributor orientation, definitely a good one. We talked about that on Wednesday and realized that it's next week. We mentioned a bunch of check-ins that we needed to do on that, but who added the update there and who wants to talk about new contributor orientation? Is that Arpit? You're leading the Americas one next week, right?
Yep. Like I haven't updated the messages. I guess it is someone else. But I chatted with message. So he confirmed that he will be available for the session, but he wants an invite. I don't know how to send an invite to him for the NCO session. I don't know if that is possible as well. Calendar invite.
Is this a new person that wants to run it or someone that you're trying to help attend it?
No, so he will be leading the SIG focus one after the initial 15 minutes. So he just he asked me like, can we get it to his calendar so we don't forget?
Oh yeah.
Is the best way to do that copying the event from Kubernetes calendar into your personal calendar?
Probably.
Yeah. which means they
Yeah,
have
if you
to add the
And like,
Kubernetes calendar.
well, I mean, it means that they
invite
don't
him
have to
via
if they copy it
email.
to their personal.
True.
If you go to the event, let's see, do you have? What is the best way to do this? Google Calendar is such a issue.
It's a challenge.
One thing you can do is ping me. I have access to all of the calendars, so I could like add him as an
Okay.
attendee to that specific meeting or something.
So like, do you want his email for that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I want his email for that. So I can definitely work it out one way or another. If you go to the better way to do it, I think, would be cates.dev/calendar. We should have a way for them to add it to their calendar from there.
We should.
Yeah, he's not
Work.
part of the mailing list.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
Which, I mean, I think that should be fine for adding it to your calendar. That's why we have cates.dev/calendar.
Yeah, you click from there or join the mailing list, and you should receive the email by like half an hour or an hour after.
Here's the link to the calendar event from cates.dev/calendar. So yeah, that's probably the better way to do it. I can be a
Yeah.
backup, but Arpit, go ahead and send him those two links that I just put in the chat.
That's work. Also, like, once Swati sends the updated slides, I will like edit them for the 6 focus and NCO like in the weekend, and I will like send it over for the review. If that's okay. So we can like
Sounds excellent.
get it there. My original idea is that I will be keeping up the community structure and contributor ladder only, plus a bit of context about what is Kubernetes, just that. And then I will like hand it over to the SIG.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Like that's the update for the NQ.
Did we also work out who's leading the EMEA edition? I don't think that we have a SIG
No,
person for that,
so
but
yeah, we don't have a SIG
unless Frederica
person.
wants to do this one.
Basically I had chatted with Kat. So for them it is not possible because EMEA time zone is not suitable. So SIG release is
Correct.
out. Same goes for SIG docs. When I asked them, like I guess the person name is Ray. So when I asked him, same thing that EMEA time zone is not suitable. So that's the problem.
But we discussed last week that Federico could do the EMEA time zone for release
Yeah,
team.
if that is okay, then we can like proceed ahead.
Federico, are you available on Tuesday at? Let me see. What time is it?
Boy,
I can tell in
very.
UTC.
Yeah. What is it? UTC.
Yeah, just give me a second.
It is.
It
Is it
is
10:30? See, Central European time. Is that accurate
it
right
is
now?
8:30 a.m. in UTC.
So it should be
what on
9:30.
UTC? Sorry.
Are you available at 9:30 Central European time on Tuesday?
So 9:30. That's 8:30 UTC.
9.
Yes.
Yeah, 8:30 UTC.
Wait, what? Wait. The NCO meeting next week for EMEA is at 10:30 Central European time.
Is that right?
Not
Okay.
9.
Okay.
Yeah.
10:30.
It's 10:30 Central European time.
So it's likely
Right, 'cause UTC
9:30
doesn't have-
UTC.
It's 9:30
Or
UTC.
whatever we
yes.
have, which is to the west of Central European time. So okay.
Yes, it's 9:30 UTC, it's 10:30 CET, and it's 1:30 PT.
So I converted it wrong. One hour long.
Time zones are hard.
Time zones are hard. Yeah. So are you available, Frederico?
I mean, possibly. I'm not able to check my calendar right now. I would actually also you mentioned, sorry, Arpit, that you talked with someone in SIG release about this before.
Yeah, I talked with the cat.
With Kat?
But Kat's
They
in Portland,
cat
so
of
I
grace.
think
Okay,
Colorado.
Yes.
so that's good.
Colorado
Since I
Springs.
actually co-lead with cats on specifically the same thing.
So
I
basically,
let me just talk with
mm,
cats. Obviously, just to be in sync, and then I
mm,
can confirm my availability before Monday. But today, later today, when I have access to my calendar.
okay. Also, like when I talked to them, they told me that it is possible for them to schedule it next month. So if that is fine, you both can do it next month, the AMER one. If like time zone is the concern.
That'd be cool because then EMEA and Americas would be in sync with what SIG is presenting in them.
Mm.
Should
So
be cool.
that would replace the next week Tuesday thing.
That would
Yeah,
be next month instead of next week Tuesday, correct?
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, tell me what. Uh, I just want to avoid overlapping efforts and conversations with other people in SIG release, so it could be misunderstood. So if that's fine with you, then great. You can continue your conversation with Cats, and you can book it next month. Otherwise, if it was a real priority to have it next week, I could take a look as well. But if it's open, I would say that continue the conversation so that it can be done, and you can follow up the initial conversation that you already started.
I would imagine that either way,
Mm.
Kat's not going to do the EMEA edition.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
you're
would
right.
not assume
Like
she would.
they told me like 8:30 a.m. UTC would be like 1:30 a.m. So now
Yes.
it is, if it is 9:30, then it is 2:30 a.m. for
Yeah.
them.
So what I
So either way, it is not happening.
if you agree, what I can do is
Mm.
this. I think that if next month is the one from the US Pacific, it makes sense to have the EMEA one closer to that as well. What I can do immediately, just sync with Kat and asking if you're going to do that during this time frame, does it make sense for me to pick up the EMEA slots, or is there anyone else, etc. And with that, either way, you will have someone.
Yeah, that is
For
fine.
one of the
Even,
next 2 months.
yeah, like, are we okay to do a SIG in like, let's say SIG release in EMEA one, and then get host one for the AMER one? Like, is that okay for us?
Yeah.
If like let's say like if Cat cannot make it in EMEA time zone and Frederico can, then he can lead one for EMEA, and then I will continue the conversation with Cat for the AMER one.
Yeah, but sure, but
Yeah.
for that to happen, I need to actually be aligned with Cat, right? Because
Yeah, of course. So like, just like let me know. I am
yeah,
fine with
exactly.
yeah, like either of the plans. I am okay with hosting it next month. I am also okay with hosting both the sessions, like EMEA one as well as next month AMER one. So I am okay with either of the cases right now.
Yep.
Just let me know how you are
I will
comfortable.
let
Like
you
if
know.
you
So
are, yeah,
to be clear, what I think, what I will do, I think that you should continue the conversation and the arrangement that you had around the next month thing with Kat,
yeah,
and I
okay,
will immediately sync with Kat, asking if there's an EMEA slot. Does it make sense for me to pick that up, and we can share obviously similar content, similar approach, etc. Or is there any other plan? And with that, you will have the information needed from SIG release, I think.
got it.
Perfect.
Alrighty. I think the original question I asked there, though, was do we have like a regular new contributor orientation content lead for EMEA for this coming Tuesday?
If it's like if we are going the way like the SIG focus one, I am happy to pick both the slots. But if it will be a regular one, like I am okay if anyone else pick it up. like we can do anything. I will like modify the slides and I will like share it. So we can like go ahead.
So somebody hop into the new contributor orientation staff Slack and ask if someone has EMEA covered or if I need to take it off the calendar. That's what I need to know.
Would that be something that I could help with instead of the other stuff that we talked before? So if I have the slot open, would my help be useful there or not really?
Always.
And that would be
Yes, like
Tuesday,
it
right?
will be like it will be like you will be covering the journal NCO thing that we have instead of talking about SIG release heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Just that. If it's a
Yes,
SIG focused
generic
NCO,
orientation.
yeah, it's a generic NCO.
Yeah,
If it's a SIG focus, then you will be talking about SIG release open opportunities and how folks can get involved with SIG release specifically. That's the difference.
got it. So we're now, so that part, the secret list one, we already discussed it. It's being
Yeah,
addressed. What we're now discussing is the NCO, the general one, which anyone, regardless of their SIG membership, can present. And
yeah,
from what I understood, there's a lack of EMEA
correct.
person to actually host it, and possibly I can host it because I think I do have the Tuesday morning. I don't think that I have at 9:30 if that is the slot. I think I'm okay. So if it helps, I can try to do it. I can do it next Tuesday for the NCL, the generic one, so not the one around SIG release. So I'll just confirm with you my availability in half an hour or something. And if it helps, I can do it. If not, obviously, no worries. You can pick it up. Anyone else, if it's not needed, it's fine.
Coordinating people, one of the hardest problems, regardless of your industry. All right. So it sounds like we've got new contributor orientation stuff rolling. Use the new contributor orientation staff Slack channel for further discussion. We're going to move on to new items or other messages of the week, actually, because the only message of the week that we've talked about is new contributor orientation. So, are there any other things going on in the community that we need to make sure that folks know about? Maintainer Summit stuff is kind of wrapped up for now. We do need to, this is kind of more of a update. It's also not that important for our group, but the Summit staff needs to set up a, what do we call those?
Retro?
Recap session. Retro. Retro session. I don't know if they'll need help with comms on that, but that would be a Natalie thing. So, yeah. Anything else going on in the community that people need to know about? Deprecations, security vulnerabilities, release. I think someone was saying, I was talking to someone who contributes to docs the other day, and they were saying that they're in docs freeze. So we must not be that far away from a release.
Yeah,
They
we're
just
close.
dropped, didn't they? Or I'm sorry, the RCs just dropped. Never mind.
Yeah, RC0. Well,
Okay.
that's
So
worth
that
adding
release.
to the messages of the week.
We should make sure that we post something about it. Ideally,
one.
the comms lead from the release would help us with that. But
Yeah.
if we need to make sure that we post something about that one way or another.
We are not
On
very far from
Tuesday.
the actual release, right? Because it's like the 23rd of April. So
Oh,
I
is
think
it?
this falls somewhere 1 week from now.
Okay. Maybe just wait on the RCs. They sent an email. I'm not sure if they sent socials. Probably not.
What were you saying about Tuesday, Susan?
Oh, in the SIG Docs meeting, there was, and I'm not sure if this would be us or release comms or which team of release comms, there is a feature that will break SE Linux in 1.37. And so they're doing a blog post on it with the release of 136 so that people can start to make the necessary changes to make sure that they're ready to not have their stuff break. So I'm not sure if that's something that we would keep an eye on messaging, or if release
I
comms for either of the teams or both.
I think it's a little of everything. Something
Everything.
that important, I think we might want to make sure that we're working with the release comms team, but see if we can put together a comms plan to make sure that the word is getting out to
Okay.
people. Well, ideally, we want to rely on other leads as much as possible. I'd say the buck stops here. We own the accounts, so if there's something that needs to go out on the accounts, we're the ones that are going to get fussed at. If somebody's like, why didn't any messaging go out? And make a comms plan alongside the release comms lead. All right, I added a note about that. Thank you, Susan. That's a really important thing to note.
You're welcome.
Any other messages of the week? That's probably the most important things going on, especially with freezes around the release. All right, let's move on then to new items. Any new requests for help or anything folks have seen? I see there are a few notes here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, somebody actually
Mhm.
put that PR in that we talked about on Wednesday?
Not yet. I was going to ask, is it just in the communication or
I think so.
contributor comms, that one markdown file? That should be it, right? I'll do it right now, otherwise.
Yes, please.
Got it.
FYI, Christopher, we're making you the official tech lead of our sub-project.
Yes. Congratulations.
Voluntold.
Thank you.
Well,
But that's for the
Mario'd.
comms. That's for the comms sub-project,
Comms,
right?
yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for all the work that you've been doing there. It's really awesome.
There's a lot to do yet.
Yeah. We also talked quite a bit about the website in the meeting on Wednesday. And we're very excited that you're working on it and doing things with it. I don't remember exactly what projects we were talking about, but we were like, we should do this and this. I remember one of them was the contributor guide. Hopefully folks saw the email from Kat like last week, whenever that came out, about the updated AI guidance. So we were talking about how we should probably try to put together a Tiger team from this group to go check out the new contributor guide, or probably from the new contributor orientation staff too, to check out the contributor guide that's on kaids.dev and update it with the latest information, because the content in that guide is probably from 2019 or earlier.
Okay.
It's definitely from earlier.
Yeah. And with the new AI guide, folks
There
are
is one?
interested in contributing. Yeah, there's a AI guidance. Let me find the link for you.
Oh, that's
He
new.
has the link.
Oh, do you have the link?
We were talking about it before the call.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Good.
You mean like the but Cat
The
didn't use the
statement.
words statement exactly.
Guidance.
Okay.
AI guidance.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah. There
Yeah.
was a lot of, I don't know, when she posted that on LinkedIn, like a lot of comments.
A lot of back and forth.
I would
On
imagine so.
Twitter. Yeah, back and forth.
Indeed.
She knew that was gonna go be controversial. Controversial.
Kat has experience with this.
Cat and controversy. Yes, there's experience there.
She was very involved with the comms for like Docker Shim and a variety of releases and deprecation. She worked on the Nginx, Ingress Nginx comms. So she's very familiar with making these kinds of comms for the community.
Yeah, guys.
Very, very true. If I could remember Christopher's GitHub handle, that would be super helpful.
Okay, yeah, it's in the chat and Zoom.
Thank you.
And I put a link in the chat if you haven't seen our new AI guidance. there's a link in the chat there. So
There
you
were
should
comms for
definitely
it.
check that out.
Well, the comms were published already, so thank you guys for doing that.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Cool. So we talked about PR for tech lead. I'm guessing this was you, Christopher, asked about how to get all SIG chairs access to Netlify. That is an important thing for us to figure out.
Yeah. So I do have access, but like, do I have to follow? Do I have to communicate this to docs or anything I'm missing?
Doesn't
Communicate
Docs
what
already have
exactly?
the Netlify
Yeah, yeah,
access?
it's just
They're
to
the one
let
that
them.
do,
Do I have to
right?
let them know and not just like send you the email directly? Because that's what I don't want to be in trouble of doing that.
I don't know. You could ask Ray.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that Ray will be fine with getting me access to it one way or another. Granted, I will not do anything with it until after next week at the earliest because I'm going to be busy next week.
Okay. So, Chris, you're also interested in having access, or Mario?
I can. It doesn't bother me.
Sorry, I phased out access to what?
To
Netlify.
the
No, I
Netlify.
don't want to have access to Netlify.
That was so fast.
You are the tech lead, and this PR needs to be merged. I don't want to be involved in this.
All right.
Smart call, Mario.
There you go,
Yes.
buddy.
Cool. Yeah, so
I don't mean this in a
after
negative way, but no.
no, don't worry, don't worry. So after casting, you have access. We will be working with finishing the a Google Calendar token. That's the only thing yet to be done to get that fixed.
Yeah, we should, if that's a thing that we can put credentials for into 1Password, we should probably do that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's related
Yeah.
to that. Like I think you're the only one with, or well, you and Ray with both access to 1Password and Netlify, and
I think I have
you
more
as the
access than
chair.
Ray, probably.
Sorry?
Yeah.
You do.
I think I have more access than Ray to 1Password, I think.
Mm-hmm. But yes, that the only one you're missing is Netlify, so yeah,
Okay.
that'll be the only thing.
So
So
after I get back from next week, we should make sure that we get those credentials stored properly so that they can be distributed as needed, ideally. I'll have to look into that to see how it works. Good reminder. And then somebody wanted to know more about the kappa.ai conversation that's going on.
I mean,
What?
yeah, I added that to the notes.
No.
It's just to if you guys
Pretty
know
straightforward.
anything,
It
updates, or if we're interested.
it will be not implemented for the next foreseeable time. There was basically a decision by um SIG docs to postpone it, and Kathleen and me plus want to postpone. Someone else should test it first.
Okay. It's still under review, in a few words, right?
We won't do it for the next foreseeable future. We are waiting for experiences from other projects.
Yeah.
Oh, other projects within
CNCF.
CNCF.
CNCF. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, okay. I really
Alrighty.
like
So,
the Envoy. I use it a lot for the Envoy page. It's a really good experience. But I know they already like that's clear that the official docs will never have Kappa because of the exams, right? So when I asked about it, I meant more about for the chat for our Slack.
Yeah, but there's basically the discussion that went on was if we don't want to put it into the official docs, why then we would want to put it into Slack?
Really good points. Yeah. Do the is the contributor side also included in one of those pages you could access when you're in the exam environment?
that would be the next question. If we would put it into Slack, we would also necessarily want to input the Kubernetes.dev side into this, because
Oh,
a
wow.
lot of questions are getting asked regarding maintainership and stuff like this. So that's why we basically postponed this and first want to see how other projects, and ideally bigger projects like regulated projects had experience with this.
Okay.
And then we can have the
Fair.
discussion again.
And there was a question in the chat for more information about kappa.ai, but there's another question too before we go back on the context.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
basically what Kesslin wrote. It's a tool
Yeah.
for exploring docs and answering questions.
Mm-hmm.
Docs and Slack and all sorts of things.
And
Yeah.
the plus is that it's not just a chat, but it ingests your blogs, discussions from pull requests, and
Mhm.
also something that one Envoy maintainer showed me. There's a dashboard where if some people are asking this a topic or a feature that is not in your project, it also gives you those it compilates those features that people seems to be that they want to see in your project, and then you could uh, plan for adding them in the future.
That sounds dangerous.
Mhm. Sounds like a
Mhm.
lot of triaging of those things.
Cool. Was there another question that someone wanted to ask before I popped in with that one?
EPR is ready for a tech lead.
Awesome.
Got you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did I have you moved me to out of it completely?
Yes. As
Thank you.
I figured
Congratulations.
you would want.
Well done. You are an example for us all. Yeah.
Remove
right,
myself from the equation.
Where you can. A good idea. Cool. So we talked about kappa.ai. Next one, feedback for some. Oh, for the
the
update to
dashboard.
the website.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
what will you change? Well, like I would like to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. The Chris is noted as the ugly in the Slack.
Yeah.
Would like to hear more.
Oh, we had a discussion on Wednesday, and Josh was like, I already implemented this for DevStats, as often happens in the community. So,
but it's slightly different. It's
but
looking
it's
at
different.
PRs. Yeah.
So we learned that there is additional information that you could consider incorporating into this from DevStats that Josh created.
I used Josh input like as an inspiration to build a dashboard, because one thing I wouldn't trust a lot DevStats, that information. While the idea is good, I took the idea, but the data, they're missing projects. I don't know how many, but for example, Headlamp is one of them. So after I noticed that, I will use the query. I could use the queries from DevStats to inspire a solution on top of them.
There you go. That works.
I'm not terribly surprised by that.
No, I'm not either.
Cool.
So yeah, so Kathleen, do you think connecting this and ARPIT's um, plan, do you think we could throughout the year, I don't know if ping or set up alerts, or like just this, maybe this the results we see here, maybe we could be the could help us plan which SIGs should be more involved in the NCOs. That's what I'm thinking about.
I wouldn't
And
want it to be like a push thing because we probably get the same notification all the time.
A lot. Yeah.
at least,
because it's
but
going to
could
take
you
a
please
long
click?
time to fix
Could you
these.
please click in one of the the squares and tell me like if this information is useful. I remember like you said about I think you or someone in the Slack like said like there should be the contributor guide within that SIG and that stuff. What do you think?
That's
Hmm.
awesome.
That is awesome.
We have an onboarding guide?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah, look, you
cool.
see, like it was like what, like 8 years ago? It said in the
Oh
GitHub.
yeah, it's old, but it's there.
Oh, 5.
5 years. You know, pretty
Yeah.
recent.
What do you think?
This is not
This is
9 years old.
awesome. Are there any good first issues on this? No, that's what I expected. I bet that will be pretty common. There's some really interesting analysis we could do on this of looking at all the red ones and like seeing which ones actually have good first issues because most of them are red because there's no one maintaining it, so there's no one to create good
Should
first
I
issues.
ignore good for if they are no for good first issues?
No, I like having it there.
No,
Okay.
yeah, I wouldn't filter the
Hint,
data like that.
because I bet we talked about like the new contributor experience. Like if a new contributor were to find this page and be like, I want to find areas to contribute to Kubernetes. I'll pick one of these red areas. Why are there no good first issues? It's red. It should have good first issues. Welcome to the
Exactly.
community. Allow us to explain.
Yes, very much.
I like that.
It's.
I
I mean,
think I think we should
I'm
I
really
think we
happy with it.
should I think we should like phase 2 is now getting more SIG chairs. Well, at least let me build data for other SIGs and
Right.
add them to the conversation, right? To like
Yeah.
because yeah, I want this to be really useful. But I mean, I can't guess if I'm not hearing from a SIG chair.
Yeah. I'm
I would.
curious how
Yeah.
the interface will work with more SIGs.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like a
Because
bigger
yeah,
challenge than.
I limit it for just our sake, but yeah, like add the more we add, the more
Unwieldy.
complex is handling all the data and yeah, and how
It gets
and everything
bigger
is
and
running within
bigger
the
and
website,
bigger.
so I don't want it to be slow also, like compromise performance. So
So I would recommend subpages potentially for each SIG.
or I think if in any case the could this be stored in a like in a bucket within Google Cloud and just uh like
Hmm.
call that JSON? I don't know. Will SIG infra be involved in any in that hip like scenario?
They would have to be involved, yes. And
Okay.
they would say, I'm not sure what they would say as far as like a storage backend, because if you make
Okay.
it an OCI artifact, it could actually be the Kubernetes
Oh, much better.
registry.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
we lost Mario. That'd be a question for Mario.
I
No, the
know.
one
He
no, it's
just left.
that's not a problem right now. It's just I was wondering that. But yeah, like let's build a small proof of concept with the presented to the signatures, whichever you think
Hmm.
will be interested, Kathleen, and then move forward with more with those other aspects of it.
I mean, I think if we I'm very curious what the SIG chairs would say. I wish I had brought this up in the chairs and tech leads meeting. I imagine folks might be like, "Ooh, looks good, pretty colors," but folks
Yeah.
also might have opinions about displaying this kind of information publicly. We'll see.
Yeah, I remember I asked you last week. Like you said, like that was fine for you, but
I
maybe
think it's a good idea.
maybe other six that are overwhelmed with work, maybe they don't will not say the same, right?
They might be worried about it. I don't know how much it would actually affect them, but if we
Well,
could have those
transparency
discussions.
for the good or the bad, it could help it.
Yeah. I think it'd be good at least for the SIG leads, and as long as we're not encouraging use of it by new contributors who are looking for work to
Right.
do, I think we'll be fine. I actually have a quick story on that, which is funny from the event that I went to last night. But before that, back to our agenda. There's one more thing here, I think. Yes, updates and big wins. who's familiar with what's going on Buffer? Was that you, Chris?
That's me.
Yeah.
Buffer has many shiny new features. Not sure when they showed up, but there's analytics, or they call it insights, for every social network. All of them.
Even Blue Sky?
Even Blue Sky.
Did Blue
Even
Sky actually make an
LinkedIn.
API, or did they just?
I have no idea. I think they cook this up on their own.
I bet they used AI to like generate their
Mm-hmm.
scraper. Anyway.
But yeah, it's some pretty slick stuff going on in here. We can definitely see metrics in one place, which is kind of nice.
That is awesome. Do you want to share it?
I can.
Take a look
Yeah,
together. Do you think it's ready for public viewing since this will be
Whoa.
on YouTube?
Just in the
Yes.
last month, there were 300,000 new followers. Am I wrong? Or
No,
is
that's it. It's because it's a new feature. It's just taking the total from
oh total?
0
Oh
to
yeah.
current. Yeah. So the graph is not 100% right, but
Well,
crop out of the
okay,
way.
yeah. If you see the small number in the right, yeah, th those are the
Yeah.
new. Okay, yeah,
So yeah, if you see these aggregate stats for the past 30 days, ooh, cool. But if you look at, let's go to LinkedIn, because I also want to show you all something else.
but 27K on LinkedIn in a month, that's good.
Yeah. No, it's very
LinkedIn
like
is intense.
LinkedIn
Oh,
is the
well, actually,
shiznizzle.
okay, 2,000. Sorry, I got confused again. 2,000 in a
Yeah, I
month
think 27,000 is probably
is
where
the
we are now.
total.
But that is crazy because
Yeah.
we only took over that platform 2 years ago.
Hmm.
It went from
Wow.
like nothing to that in 2 years.
Even crazier, there's now a community thing here as well that shows you all the comments and messages and so
Oh,
forth, so on, which we do not need to necessarily respond to, but it's cool to see.
you could answer from there?
I would assume so. Yep.
Wow, yeah. Awesome.
So we could implement a system for doing that, but I bet that the volume
I
of this
the,
is
for
too
LinkedIn,
much.
like I just see it all the time, right? Like that number just
Yeah.
keeps growing. So yeah.
So we'll probably continue with our policy of not engaging with replies to our posts, but
And unless contributors want to. But for us, probably better to just not have that as a policy.
Yeah,
And there's
individually. I
and,
see like
and
most for
if
the
you see
NCO, there's always someone like with having problem with the calendar, right? Or the Zoom link.
mhm, yeah, but you can get these stats in aggregate as well, which is very cool because it shows us how many posts, how many total followers, reactions, etc. So
now we can actually see how
we can
Blue Sky is
actually do
doing.
that talk we did at Atlanta right now.
Oh my goodness. Indeed.
But if you look at some of like, okay, 1,500 reactions to the CVE for Ingress Engine X before it went defunct. Like, that's crazy metrics as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. That's why these channels exist, so that we can get important information like that out.
Yeah.
So it's good that people see it and react to it. You can see the bump.
Yes. And they have this fancy new graphing tool too. That's so pretty.
I love a graphing tool. And the graphs were
Yeah.
broken when we did that talk in Atlanta.
Yeah, they're very broken.
It was very sad.
So the top channels so far I see are the Kubernetes IO and X and Kubernetes in LinkedIn so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I
I
think
think
that
those are the
and
two
it's just because
biggest.
LinkedIn is the newest one, right?
No, I mean,
No.
it was there for a while. CNCF was maintaining it, but when we pulled it in and started
Oh,
actually posting to it, it went bonkers.
okay.
So yeah,
But in X,
CNCF was never maintaining the LinkedIn account. They maintained the X account for a long time, and that's why that's so high, is because they used to have a professional dedicated to running it. But the LinkedIn account we just took over at the birthday. Someone else in the community had claimed it to make sure that
Right.
no one nefarious created that
Yeah.
page.
We need no squatters.
So we were eventually able to contact them and get a hold of it. So it had not been used at all. It existed just to make sure that nobody used it in a bad way, but it had not been
Mhm.
used before we took over.
But I mean, this is wild.
This is awesome.
Oh.
I also just noticed this. Sometimes things fail.
It was posted.
This
I
posted?
like that it has
Oh,
this.
I think if you go to send, in Blue Sky.
This
Okay,
is
never
Blue
mind.
Sky.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I saw it on X.
So what I really like about this is that it's top level. I can see everything that needs to be approved.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they used to have that more and then they got rid of it at some point or something. I don't know. It
Do you want
became
me to
very
retry
difficult to
this
navigate.
now, Christopher?
I think so.
Sorry. Yeah.
Christopher? Yeah.
We're gonna do
sorry,
it.
I lost. I'm lost.
It
Okay,
was
it's
already
published.
published on everything else, right?
Yeah,
We were
yeah,
just
yeah.
checking
Yep.
if we should retry that.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
We get a lot of those failures.
But yeah, these insights are awesome and they're aggregate and it covers everything, which is what we've been asking for a while now, or wanting for a while now.
So
not
before
necessarily
you guys were doing your own dashboards?
No.
No.
Oh,
We would have to cobble together things from various places
in
to
a spreadsheets, I guess.
well, for slides is what our talk was on.
Yeah,
But yeah,
So
like
it
we'd have to
had
go look at LinkedIn, we'd have to go look at Blue Sky, we'd have to go look, and there were
Mhm.
some stats here, but not really great. Yeah.
it had analytics for some of the channels, but not all of them before.
So yes.
And we are at time. So I will leave you all today with my quick little story from the meetup last night. I got to the end of the meetup and the networking time, and I had given a talk about new features in Kubernetes and the work that we're doing and stuff. And someone came up to me after and was like, I've been interested in the CNCF space. If you all need any help, just let me know. And I was like,
all of CNCF?
with what part? And he was like,
Mhm.
like if you have some work that needs doing in the CNCF, like I've heard. And I was like, okay. Like
Tell me
what kind of
more.
work? And he was like, for example, I think he mentioned like Argo CD. I saw that they needed some help recently, and I was like, there's hundreds, maybe thousands of projects in the CNCF. Kubernetes by itself is like 30 projects.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
oftentimes when we get folks saying, I would love to contribute, where can I hop in? It's hard to answer those questions sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even being part of the CNCF community, like there's like 5, 10, more than 10, I think, ways you could be part of it.
I mean, hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Make your own.
Hundreds.
Infinite.
Choose your adventure. Yes.
Yeah, but you have to care enough to figure out what adventures work for you.
Exactly.
That is the problem. This
Thank
is
you,
why
Christopher,
people
for
ask
doing
us
that.
to provide them help.
And all of you, thank you for doing that and being part of our meeting today. We hope you had fun, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Happy weekend.
Bye.
Happy weekend.
Yeah.